Hello everybody, my name is Jerome Couturier. I'm one of the two authors of the book, and we're going to have a small session now to speak about competitive advantage. So as a short reminder, as you could see in the book, strategy is about finding out your core challenges, overcoming them in order to deliver value. The question is, some companies deliver better value, higher value than others. What it means is that for the same invested capital, the returns that are achieved by some companies are higher than with others. A good proxy for that is what we call competitive advantage. Competitive advantage is a good proxy of value creation, okay, and is measured in many ways. One of the most common ways is the return on invested capital. So which means that for any dollar or euro or pound invested, how much is returned? What's the value created? Okay. So we observe indeed that some companies have a competitive advantage which is seen in the way that they create more value than others. We tend to say they create more value, they return more value than the average in their industry. So there is a direct consequence to that, which is that not every company in a given industry has a competitive advantage. That's an important point because we tend to ask company, what's your competitive advantage? As if any company had one. Well, actually, this is not the case. Only the best ones, only those that create more value than the average do have one. The second point about competitive advantage is that if you have one, which means basically that you've got something that others do not have, that enables you to create more value, then you always need to think about how do I renew it. That's critical. Because obviously, as soon as you have one, you will be more successful. Competitors will try to imitate you, to copy your competitive advantage. So the question is, how do I protect it? How do I renew it? There are two ways. One is continuous improvement. The other one is more radical innovation. We observe that best practices companies actually always try to improve, always try to renew, to defend, to sustain their competitive advantage. Actually, some say that strategy is also about defining and sustaining your competitive advantage, at least when it comes to business strategies. Now, let's say that you don't have one. A good news is that there are different sources to achieve one. So most companies actually do have something which they can leverage to achieve a competitive advantage, even if they do not have one right now. We tend to say that there are three different sources to achieve a competitive advantage. One is called structural. Structural means that the company has patents, has or enjoys a specific position. For instance, if it's a company with shops, it's got the best locations, or it's got technology. Basically, it's got something which is structural, like also access to raw materials, or an exclusive deal with a supplier who is known to be the best one in this industry. So they've got this, it is structural, and as a result of it, they can achieve and deliver superior value. The second source of competitive advantage is what we call frontline execution. Typically, a number of companies, they don't have something really special when you look at the patents, when you look at access to raw materials or brand, but you see that they outperform their competitors in each and every activity of the value chain. As a result, at the end of it, you sum up all these little benefits and it results in superior profits, superior return on invested capital. And they achieve that because they're excellent in execution. They might not be the best one to design a strategy, but whatever they say they will be doing, they do it. The third source of competitive advantage is what we call insight foresight. This is achieved when the company has a very strong leader who can anticipate the future of the company. Or if the company manages data in a way that they can give sense to customer data, data mining, we hear these days about big data, in a way that they can identify or anticipate patterns of behavior for their customers. So this is called insight foresight. In addition to these three sources of competitive advantage, we have as well culture. Some companies also achieve a strong advantage because they have a strong culture of performance, culture of the execution. So this fourth source actually comes in addition to one of the three. Obviously, any company can achieve a competitive advantage based on one or more sources. Thank you.